Who are you?
I am Chicken Jockey. Flint and Steel.
The Minecraft movie is bad. Shocker, I know. For a game that's all about creativity, exploring new worlds, and taking the path less traveled, it manages to do none of that and is one of the most predictable, studio-safe, nothing-burger movies I have ever seen. This movie has nothing to say and barely has any message at all, because at the end of the day, it's all about the brand. You like Minecraft? Look at this cool thing from Minecraft. Man, that thing from Minecraft is really cool because it's from Minecraft, and Minecraft is awesome. Now listen, before I get labeled as a hater, I want to make one thing clear. Minecraft is my favorite game ever, period. I've been playing ever since 2011 when Minecraft Pocket Edition came out on my iPod Touch 3. I am an OG. For all intents and purposes, I grew up in this game. It taught me very important moral lessons while growing up in this cruel world. Like the beauty of capitalism, slavery, animal cruelty, environmental degradation, and racism. Wait a minute. But in all seriousness, this game gave me a creative outlet to express myself as I grow up and as I changed into the person that you see on your screen now. This game is very important to me on many levels. And while growing up, there was always this looming idea that was, if Minecraft was a movie, what would it look like? For a game with no rules to follow and is all about creating your own journey throughout this world, how on earth do you capture every single emotion and experience of a game that has over 300 million downloads into one single movie? How on earth could you compact all of those ideas? Well, Warner Brothers has the answer to that question, and that is to take zero inspiration from all the fan animations and make it an ungodly live-action mess by hiring an overrated director from one of the most overrated movies ever made. So let's get what everyone else is saying right out of the way. Yes, this movie looks bad. Like, really bad. The lighting is so intense throughout the entirety of the movie, and there's this harsh rim lighting that makes everyone look like they're wearing cheap wigs, which is probably true considering how terrible the costume design looks. I mean, come on, Natalie looks like she's my grandma making cookies. Dawn looks like she hopped out of a roller rink from the 70s. Jack Black just put a blue shirt on and called it good, and Jason Momoa looks like I hit randomize on a Hitman playthrough. The overall Minecraft world looks like one of those, this is what Minecraft would look like in real life videos from 12 years ago, and doesn't look like Minecraft at all. It wants to feel like Minecraft, but the only way to do that effectively is to just look like Minecraft. The overworld, aka Minecraft, just has these terrible inconsistencies throughout the terrain and buildings that make it very hard to tell how tall something is. Can you tell me how tall this tree is? What about the buildings? Can you tell me how tall this fence is? Just look at these different block sizes. It's clear the production designers didn't care about keeping everything consistent to cut corners and make it easier, but this art direction is something that a lot of amateur artists fall into. And that is mixels. No, not these mixels. Mixels is an art style based on incoherent or inconsistently sized pixels. This is something you see in a lot of amateur games where it looks like the developers scaled the sprites wrong. Look at Steve in this diamond armor. This is disgusting.
I remember when we were trying to figure out the size of the block that you break itself. Look, when Steve holds a block, it's like this big. And there we actually found out that going 1 meter by 1 meter, which is like, 3 feet by 3 feet, is actually too big.
You're right, Torli Franz Olafsson. It's almost like Minecraft has an incredibly unique and distinct art style that is incredibly hard to translate to real life. It's almost like adapting Minecraft into the real world was one of the biggest production mistakes this movie ever made. Isn't it, Torli Franz Olafsson? But hey, Torfi Franz Olafsson is a big producer in Hollywood. He has multiple projects like wait, is that just a video game? I haven't even heard of this movie. It doesn't even have a poster. You know what we haven't seen to this scale before? A 2-hour animated Minecraft movie with the power of a $150 million budget backing it up. God, I wish I was in that timeline. It would look far better than whatever this green screen monstrosity is. Seriously, this movie has a $150 million budget and 10 years of development behind it, and it has barely anything to show for it. It honestly just looks like something they whipped up in a weekend. Just for comparison, Dune Part 1 has a budget of $165 million. That is only a $15 million budget difference, and yet it looks $100 million more expensive than whatever this is. And to double down on this, this was made by the same production company that made the Dune movies. Where did we lose the sauce? sauce, brother. Just leave it to Warner Brothers to be the worst and most inconsistent entertainment company when it comes to quality control. Just imagine instead of a fish out of water trope that we've seen done to death constantly, we instead got a story that was set in Minecraft and looked like Minecraft, that sounded like Minecraft, and was just about Minecraft. But no, we have to do the same song and dance we do every time we do a video game adaptation, and we have to watch the people figure out where they are. What the frick, bro? This place is made of blocks? That's crazy, bro. What the frick? That tree is floating, bro? That's freaking epic, bro. Is that a freaking pig that is a freaking man? I am losing my freaking mind right now, bro. Congratulations, Warner Brothers. I didn't think you could get worse than Jumanji, but you managed to do so. I would be upset at the writers, but I don't even know if the writers that are credited on the movie are the actual writers. Because in the leaked previs version of this movie, the writers credited are to be determined. So you're telling me that you were so far into post-production that you started editing the project, and yet you didn't have any writers nailed down for the project. I smell AI. I wouldn't be surprised if they used AI, considering how uninspired this entire movie felt. That or Warner Brothers were going through writers every week trying to find yes men that would just attach their name to the project and call it good. It's not that bad, considering Jack Black probably wrote all of his lines. Oh, Jack Black. Jack Black as Steve is just such a miscast of the century. I cannot tell you why, but Hollywood currently has this weird obsession with this overweight, middle-aged man. It feels like the Aquafina effect, where everyone thinks he's funny when he's just not. Hollywood believes he's one of the funniest actors who has ever lived, even though he's only been in a couple of good projects. And I know this is gonna be a hot take, but some of these aren't even that good. I'm not gonna specify which ones because that's gonna make my comment section way more interesting. Jack Black is not playing a character in this movie. He's just playing Jack Black in the worst way possible. And that is to yell everything that is in the game because that's how the audience knows what's happening because we were all stupid. They also gave Minecraft Steve an origin story. He was tired of selling doorknobs and decided that he was gonna go back to the mines and dig around for a bit. He then runs into these two artifacts, and when combined, it opens a portal to the overworld. And from here, he builds and does wacky stuff in Minecraft, and that's it. But honestly, you could just cut all of this out. It's kind of irrelevant to the main characters of the story. Jason Momoa's character is your standard himbo idiot, retired pro gamer who wants the glory back and is going into Minecraft, and he sees the opportunity to get rich. Throughout the journey, he makes a new friend in Steve and even sacrifices himself by blowing up a bridge, but surprise, Garrett comes back from the dead and saves Henry at the very last moment. He also explained how he survived using Steve's water bucket trick, but the thing is that the bridge he allegedly died on is a bridge over a river, and we've already established that water breaks your fall no matter what, so he didn't have to use the water bucket trick. Is he stupid? I'm not going to talk about Henry, Natalie, or Dawn because quite frankly, they do nothing throughout the movie. Dawn specifically is just here because Natalie needs someone to exposit her emotions to in order to tell us, the audience, what she's feeling. And then for a good chunk of the final battle, Dawn is just not there. This movie has a really bad problem of not understanding who its main character is. At first, from the trailers and the promotional material, you would think it's this kid Henry, but Jason Momoa gets more screen time than him. We get more gay romance between Jack Black and Jason Momoa than we do from the two main characters that the movie is trying to develop. I will say to this movie's credit, if the movie was just exclusively Jason Momoa and Jack Black playing Minecraft with none of these rat characters in the movie, this movie might actually be okay. Henry and Natalie are moving into a new town after their mom died, and Natalie is scared of losing Henry. Henry is the most generic, ooh, look at me, I'm creative kid you could ever think of. And he's pretty much just a more watered down version of Max from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which is surprising considering how watered down Max already is. But anyway, some events happen that I don't care to explain about. He ends up at Jason Momoa's little gamer shop doing things, and then he finds the artifact that we were talking about in the beginning, puts them together, and they start getting dragged towards the mines. Once they're there, we meet up with Natalie and Dawn, and then everyone just gets sucked into this portal. The first act really does drag, and it doesn't really get any better as the movie goes on. The only good thing to come out of this is that you don't have to suffer as much as you did. The writing is exactly what you expected from the trailers, which is Jack Black explaining what Minecraft thing is and then giving you a tutorial on how to use it in an epic voice specifically. There's a point in the movie where he needs to jump at a gas to kill it, and he yells slime block as he places it, and it's just so like You don't need that there. I know what that is. I'm looking at the screen. This movie feels like a tutorial and an advertisement for the parents that were begged by their kids to come to the theater. Now that I've been ranting for a good chunk of this video, I can already hear the comments being typed out that are saying, "But Andrew, the movie is for kids and you can't take it so seriously." This line is so bizarre to me, and it scares me that so many people agree with this sentiment. If I can't critique a piece of media that's meant for kids, that means that the reverse applies as well, and means that you can't praise it. You know another franchise that is beloved by kids and also got an adaptation by Warner Brothers? Lego. The Lego movie is my favorite movie, period. It is one of the most pure expressions of young creativity ever made. And on paper, if the Minecraft movie just copied Lego's homework, the Minecraft movie would have been great. The Lego movie is fast-paced, non-stop funny, and action-packed. Everything that the Minecraft movie wants to be. But it's missing one key ingredient. Actually trying. You see, at the end of the Lego movie, Emmett, the main character, sacrifices himself to deactivate the bomb, falls into the infinite abyss of nothingness. The movie goes on without Emmett as if he's dead, but plot twist, he isn't. The great veil is then lifted from our mortal eyes, and it's revealed that this entire movie is being acted out by a child. This makes the movie completely bulletproof of any criticism. But in all seriousness, the next 15 minutes of the third act is the kid expressing his frustrations with his dad about how he runs the Lego basement, creating borders, enforcing rules, destroying anything that's slightly weird or strange. And after the kid tells him the story of the construction worker, the dad realizes that this entire thing is about him. And then at the climax of this discussion, rather than breaking the illusion for his son and instantly ruining the magic, the dad plays along and asks him this question.
If the construction guy said something to President Business, what would he say?
You don't have to be the bad guy. You are the most talented, most interesting, and most extraordinary person in the universe. And you are capable of amazing things because you are the special. And so am I. And so is everyone. The prophecy is made up, but it's also true. It's about all of us. Right now, it's about you. And you still can change everything.
This movie is a triumph of everything that makes Lego as a brand great. This is what the Minecraft movie should have been. But sadly, I don't even think they even tried. As I've said before, this movie has so much talent behind it, from the production studio from Dune, and even Weta, who worked on Lord of the Rings. The composer even did the score for the Lego movie, and I'm just left so disappointed because the music here feels so bland. It's such a shame because the first act of this movie actually sets up some pretty interesting ideas. For example, Henry and Natalie's mom has passed away and they had to move to a new town, but there's never any mention of the dad. So what I was thinking was that the grand reveal was gonna be that Steve was the father in some Darth Vader reveal or something. Maybe make the message about game addiction and how it can rip you away from your loved ones. But the movie can't do that because, quite frankly, that's too interesting. There's also a subplot about how Steve got captured by the piglins and then trades the lives of these random people that stumbled into this world unknowingly and is willing to doom this entire world to an age of darkness just so that he can get his dog back. Hey Steve, I don't think you're a good person. Also, when everyone comes back together, this plotline is just never acknowledged. Like, he never addresses this at all. They even touch on the loneliness of Minecraft in Steve's origin story, but never truly give it the development I think it deserves, and just solves the problem within 30 seconds. Ever feel lonely in Minecraft single-player mode and wishing for a connection beyond just weird dudes that honk at you? Just get a dog, you'll be fine. Seriously, let's do a character study on the character of Steve from Minecraft. He is a man capable of doing extraordinary things with a creativity that's only restricted by the blocks he can get his hands on. This man has conquered entire dimensions and slain thousands of foes that threaten the innocence of this world, and yet he is the only one of his kind that could ever comprehend that. If you ever played a long-lasting survival world, especially in the early days of the game, you understand how lonely Minecraft can feel. The atmosphere of the game hits just right to give that feeling of awe and wonder, but leaves just enough open to leave you sitting there with nothing but your own thoughts. This is the life of Steve. No matter how many villages he communes with or pets he tames, he will never have a real connection with anyone here. This world is his sandbox, and with no rules to follow, his adventure is up to him alone. Now what if, out of nowhere, people just like him showed up. The connection that he's been yearning for his entire life comes in the form of 4 individuals who just so happen to stumble across his world. Imagine what you could do with that. But no, nobody on this project seemed to be interested in doing anything at all. It's just corporate slop. And I know there's gonna be people that are just gonna say, oh, just turn your brain off, just enjoy the ride, chicken jockey. My answer to that is that if I wanted that experience, I would go to Disneyland. And you know what? Maybe I don't want to turn my brain off. Maybe I want to actually engage in the media that I consume. Maybe I want to feel something about the movie that I'm watching. Maybe I want to care. And maybe, just maybe, we should be asking more from these multi-billion-dollar companies that have convinced millions of people that this is a serviceable product.